few weeks ago, Astro posted this trailer about the fact that many famous Malaysian franchises exist in the same universe. A lot of things happen in the trailer, for example, this cute guy fighting the bad guy, a bus flip over from an explosion, and a boomerang stopping a bomb from exploding. This trailer makes people go wild. But this isn't the topic for this video. We are here to talk about an individual who are a part of this huge project, which is Sofyank, a talented man in his field, which is making VFX scene. But before we continue, let me introduce myself a bit. What's up, brother and sister? I am Annie Karsima and I draw stuff. You know, like OC and stuff. He has a YouTube channel and here are some of his work to show you guys what this man is capable of. Pretty bizarre, right? If you don't know, he is literally the guy who makes the bus scene. I believe a week after that trailer, he posted this video where he talks about his process on making those scenes in the trailer. The video is about 3 minutes long and I suggest you to watch it for yourself first. But there's a part in this video where he used AI as a reference. I repeat, as a reference, not a final product. Here is a clip.
Bas hancur tau. Saya bagi tahu balik 3D artist tadi, saya perlukan satu versi bas punya body yang dah hancur. Saya dengan dia dah tak boleh nak communicate macam, oh saya perlukan bas seperti ni, saya nak bas hancur depan macam ni. Sebab kita orang punya masa sangat-sangat terhad. Jadi apa yang saya buat masa tu, saya cuba upload beberapa keping gambar bas yang dah ditangkap dekat set dan saya upload ke dalam website AI dan saya minta AI untuk generatekan gambar-gambar tadi, tukarkan kepada texture dah hancur. Dan apabila AI generate gambar, kita dapat look yang sangat-sangat memuaskan. Korang boleh tengok look yang AI bagi, dia punya texture sangat-sangat cantik, sangat-sangat realistik. Saya bagi kepada 3D artist tadi dan saya cakap, saya perlukan body bus yang dah hancur seperti dalam gambar ni. Jadi proses ni memudahkan 3D artist tadi. Orang just terus boleh ikut apa yang saya perlukan berdasarkan gambar yang kita dah generate tadi.
He specifically said that both him and the 3D artist has a tight schedule, making it difficult for him to communicate on how he wanted the 3D artist to edit the bus model looking crushed and all that. So he asked AI to generate an image of the bus photo he gave, making AI put a rectangular texture on it. When he got the generated image, he said that the image was memuaskan and the texture looks beautiful and realistic. So he decided to give this image to the 3D artist and said to build the bus body looking like the image he sent. Now, I see people in the comment section saying that this is the ethical way of using AI, and I'm like, is it really? As a tool to make reference? The way the tool being built is already controversial. Is using AI correctly by the user make the situation ethical as a whole? True, he didn't use it out of malice, but all layers of ethicality is important, especially when all of it is possible to exist together. I do understand that this topic of building AI ethically is a complex topic to talk about, so let's just imagine that the AI model is made ethically. Will this way of using AI to make reference be considered as ethical or even be the last resort with the tight schedule? Since people associate AI with speed, my question to you guys right now is, are the other choices here not as fast as AI? We have Google search that has a lot of image of wrecked bus that you can use as a reference. Now, you might argue that the example you got from Google search doesn't match with what Sofyank specifically want. The texture bus he wants needs to look like the bus is wrecked from a bomb, unlike the image you find online, where the bus is wrecked from an accident. That is true, but that goes both ways. Look at the reference he got from the AI. It doesn't look like it was wrecked from a bus. I mean, it doesn't look like it was wrecked from a bomb. It looks like it go through a horrible car accident. You might argue that he probably just want a wrecked texture, which is possible, but then that means you can use real life photo if you want is just texture. So both choices has speed, but which one is better? The real image you got at least has value in it, where the bus look damaged like that because of a logical situation. However, AI can be tricky. You don't know which part makes sense and which part don't. Its unpredictable behavior make this picture unable to explain itself. At least with real image, if you cannot explain why it looks like that, the look will always be logical. Funny thing is, after the new bus model was finished, Sofyank has to edit the model a bit to make it look believable in the final cut. This makes us wonder if using AI for reference even makes sense anymore in this process, even with a tight schedule. I simply feel like it's an irrational choice that exists. You can use it, but why not use a better example that already exists and fast? Like, Just give the 3D artist an example of a broken bus window and front and side reference and just tell them to try apply it on the first bus model. Like, isn't that fast too? If it's not fast, how is using an AI tool faster when it requires more internet? Now, we need to remember he was very busy during these times, and so he probably just think, hey, AI is faster, and so he just go with it. It's not the biggest mistake humanity has ever made, really. Everyone makes this kind of mistake. He is not alone here. If he has more time in his schedule, he will probably do more research. But now that we have time to think, it's not bad to figure out which choices is more fulfilling even when you don't have a lot of time in the project. It's good to notice that, hey, if this situation happen again, good choices still exist. The funny thing is, even when an artist is desperate, AI won't be the last choice you have. AI can only exist as a choice when other good choices exist. So when good choices isn't available, you know damn well AI won't be available too. There's also another video in YouTube that was released on ML Studio of him talking about his takes on using AI in film, where he tells us about how it was difficult trying to imagine or visualize a bus spin upside down from a bomb explosion. So he used AI to generate that situation, saying that AI here gave him an early visual even if it looks off, acknowledging AI as a very helpful tool to speed up the process, not actually AI doing the process itself. With that, he also gave us an example such as using AI to make the background scene for the movie, because usually viewers focus on what is happening in the scene and not the surrounding of the scene, saying that this is still has a human touch. Continuing on saying that he cannot say much about this topic because he's not in the situation where the time and budget was limited for others, proving that he tried to understand those who might have used AI because of those specific factors. I do hope you watch this video yourself to understand what Sofyank trying to say. I'm gonna talk about this specific part quickly, where he said using AI to generate background helps speed up the process of filmmaking. I'm gonna be honest with you, that's a backfire decision. First of all, it's true that viewers focus on action more than background, but the true beauty of background is that background is shaped because of life surrounding it. Without life, environment won't exist and have a specific look. So if this is the part where we try to speed up the process, it will bother with the storyline of the movie. When your environment doesn't make sense, it can contradict or even ruin a good story. Also, this is the beauty of rewatching a movie. You now can see other detail you didn't notice at first, making a movie fun to watch more than just once. Now, don't criticize this example he gave here, because the thing is, this example was explained within less than 30 seconds. I definitely do not expect this to be a good example of speeding up the process of filmmaking. He probably didn't think deeply about the example he gave, which is a common mistake people did, not really realizing that their own example can backfire their own point. Let's continue on the part where he used AI to generate a bus spin upside down reference. He is not wrong. It is true to visualize that scene is difficult. Let's just imagine that you're just walking on the street and suddenly there's a bomb explosion that was able to flip out a bus upside down. A wake of a bus is probably more than just 5,000 kilograms. It's already hard to imagine a slot doing a backflip. What makes you think imagining something like this is easy? So I understand what he goes through. He continues with saying that AI here is a good tool for how quick it is now. Let's test that, shall we? I searched a spinning bus upside down GIF in Google, and I found this GIF where Homer and Peter Griffin fight for some reason in a spinning bus. But I will admit that this probably isn't enough, because Sofyank also want the bus to be having a wrecked and burned texture. So I searched wrecked bus and slightly burned bus. Here what I got. Pretty good. There is also another way, which is downloading free 3D bus model and just spin it around in Blender. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. What is this? What? Huh? Guys, be honest. How does it look like? Is it good? Okay, wait. There's no explosion yet. Alright guys, now be honest, which one is a better reference? I know which one I like, but I cannot choose because I will be biased here. Now, let's ask the real question. How is AI speeding up the process here? Like, yes, AI is fast, but which part of the process has been sped up? Because if you look at this process video, you can see that he used a 3D block to visualize how the bus will spin. This process can be considered as making your own reference. So what I'm seeing here is him asking AI to make him a reference, and then him making his own reference, and then you have the final product that look closer to his own reference. So what is the part that got sped up here? Please tell me. AI give early visual? You don't use the visual anyway. You make early visual too. You show it yourself. For it to not be considered as early visual, you would have used the real model and immediately make the scene, but you don't. The AI reference is showed in this video doesn't even look great. It has a lot of errors that you cannot study. The thing about studying a reference made by another creator makes it possible for us to stumble upon errors that others had made. When an error happens, it exists from a mistake of not thinking of another aspect. When you create something, you will realize that some creators find a way of solving it or avoiding it. What about AI mistake? AI won't tell you why they have this mistake. They won't even tell you how they even stumble upon those problems. You can learn from another creator's mistake, but you cannot learn much from an AI mistake. A bus turned upside down but it suddenly merged like that. No 3D Pro or new animators will make that illogical mistake. Let's talk about making your own reference. This usually occurs when an artist wants a visual that will be the bone structure of the final product, but the specific visual is complicated that there's no similar visual of it yet. So what they do here is basically find as many references that touch on each part of what they need and just mix them all together to form the ultimate reference. During this process, there is a possibility that they will stumble upon errors like this color doesn't match or this shape looks odd and so on. But the beauty of this problem is that you have a more clear visual of what you want before you start. Imagine if you finish drawing something only to realize it looks off. Yeah, I will call it a day if that was me. AI reference makes you apply the logic yourself, and when you have to apply it yourself, you end up making your own reference. Real-life reference will always look logical regardless of how hard it is to explain them. What about edited photos and drawing? They aren't real. But the illogical look they have is the logical choice of the creator themselves. Using their work as a reference can make you wonder how they end up with this decision. Because after all, they are an artist just like you. AI cannot make the thing they generate make sense from real-life logic to creative logic. The visuals simply cannot explain themselves in any shape or form because all they generate is the average of what is being fed to them. True AI reference is a choice, but why use a reference that tells nothing about themselves? And even if your final work do look like the AI reference, that's just remaking. My honest takes on using AI in filmmaking is that it's irrational and could even be unprofessional, especially with how controversial the tool is being made. Knowing the fact that other option is available even with a short amount of time when working, people might see AI as a guiding tool, but it doesn't even reach those quick 5 steps on how to draw things. I understand that people want to find a quick way to learn this and that. It's just that what can we learn from a tool that isn't perfect yet? I know human creation isn't always perfect, but the mistake we made can be studied. How can you study a mistake that isn't made by an artist? Listen, I'm not gonna be mad with people making this mistake because it is to be expected that people will explore the capability of a new tool. But it's a good thing to ask, is this really the good use of AI generator? Is this tool gonna be relevant in this process knowing that other choices are available? better and mostly worthwhile even with a deadline. I acknowledge AI can be a choice in finding reference, but I just cannot help seeing how unfulfilling this choice is when the only thing it gives is speed and maybe visual, knowing that other choices fulfill this value too. I think when people said AI speed up the process for this specific situation is that they speed up the idea or thinking process. I could be wrong, but if this is the case, let's just think about what they are saying right now. Speeding up the thinking or idea process by asking AI to solve the problem. Just think about it. When something solves your problem, you cannot say you did it. You didn't figure it out yourself. How can you say it speed up the idea or thinking process when you didn't try to figure it out from the start? I mean, even if AI solve your problem, you end up stumbling upon a new problem when you make the product. You end up spending time to figure the stuff out anyway. I don't understand why we try to speed up this process to begin with, when this is the part that can speed up your creating process. So before I end this video, I want you to know that Sofyank posted a lot of video in his channel, and if you combine them all, it's probably more than 48 hours long. He only talked about AI for less than 5 minutes? I can clearly tell it's not enough to talk about AI and where he stands. I'm pretty sure this video doesn't take a lot of time to make. He talks about AI less than 3 minutes. I will expect it to touch only on the surface level of the topic, knowing his wording can also be wrong and that maybe he didn't fully explore this topic like I do. It's more realistic for you guys to criticize me rather than him because I'm the one who makes a lot of points here. I've seen many people only touching on the surface level of this topic, which is a common mistake, but if we let this happen, a bigger problem will occur. Don't be ashamed of making a mistake like this, for the worst outcome there is for humanity is not to move forward. It is not your fault that you want to try new things just like anyone else, but it's better to ask yourself if the thing you did right now will be the thing you are proud of the most. After all, don't we all deserve better choices?